Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum has just confirmed the break below this critical area of support, while Bitcoin dominance is actually bouncing from this previous area of resistance, which we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment. Definitely stick around. First of all, just taking a quick look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and we can see that not a lot has changed on this chart, on this time frame, over the last 1 day. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this Bitcoin chart right here, then check out my last video on the channel. So getting straight into the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now, as of recording this video, we can see that the price of Bitcoin is still trading above this important area of support, sitting in between around 24.3k to 25.3k. But obviously, as of right now, we're still within this bearish trend on the daily time frame, forming lower highs and lower lows here on the daily chart, like what we saw back here. And we can see something similar here in the RSI, because obviously we have not yet seen a breakout into higher highs above this descending line of resistance here in the daily Bitcoin RSI. And so once again, this basically means this bearish divergence on the daily time frame is still somewhat affecting the price of Bitcoin, meaning we should not really be expecting a lot of bullish momentum. And instead, once again, we're still currently looking more bearish than bullish in terms of the trend here on the daily chart, as I've been saying for a while now on this channel. And if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, first of all, the daily Bitcoin MACD is still currently showing very low momentum, while the daily Bitcoin RSI once again has not yet broken out into a more bullish trend. But with that being said, the daily Bitcoin RSI is actually attempting to form higher lows, while the price is actually forming lower lows in the daily candle closes. And so once again, as I've mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, that is a possible bullish divergence forming here on the daily time frame. But at least as of right now, that potential bullish divergence on the daily chart is not yet confirmed, because as of right now, we have not yet confirmed these higher lows in place in the RSI. So for example, if the price of Bitcoin continues lower, continues this bearish trend on the daily time frame, perhaps into this area of support that I just mentioned, then in that case, obviously that could bring the RSI down into lower lows in that scenario. And obviously, if we have lower lows in the RSI and lower lows in the price, there's no divergence there at all. And so this is why we need to actually confirm those higher lows in place in the RSI with a decent bounce in the RSI, breaking out ideally above this descending line of resistance, which once again has not yet happened. But obviously, just over the last 1 week or so, we have seen a bit of a pause from that bearish trend on the daily time frame due to this small bullish divergence on the 6-hour chart. And as you can see, ever since that small bullish divergence confirmed roughly around 1 week ago, we've seen mostly choppy sideways price action. So once again, a bit of a pause from that bearish trend. But if you're looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI right now, this is attempting a break to the downside below this ascending line of support. And basically, if this confirms with candle closes, confirming a break to the downside in the RSI and also forming new lower lows in the RSI, if that happens, then that essentially helps to invalidate this bullish divergence on the 6-hour chart, basically meaning the bullish divergence has already played out and it is now over, which would mean the bearish trend on the daily time frame could potentially resume with another leg to the downside, perhaps into this area of support, if that bullish divergence on the 6-hour chart actually invalidates, with once again a confirmed break below this line of support in the RSI, and ideally lower lows actually confirming in the RSI to properly invalidate the bullish divergence. And in that scenario, once again, we still have that area of support in between 24.3k to 25.3k based on previous resistance and support here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And as for short-term support and resistance, looking at the Bitcoin order books, we still have a decent amount of buy orders in between around 25.1k to 25.2k acting as support. And we have another group of buy orders sitting at pretty much exactly $25,000 per Bitcoin. And as for resistance, looking at the sell orders, we have a decent amount of sell orders sitting in between around 26,000 to 26.2k acting as resistance. And once again, as I warned at the beginning of this month and the end of last month, September is usually bearish for Bitcoin and really the overall crypto market, because if you're looking at the last 6 years of history, we've seen 6 bearish Septembers in a row. And if you're looking at the last 10 years of history, history, we've seen 8 bearish Septembers and only 2 bullish Septembers over the last 10 years. And in fact, the only 2 bullish Septembers we've seen over the last 10 years was just a 2% gain that we saw in September of 2015 and a 6% gain that we saw in September 2016. And other than that, every single September over the last decade has been bearish. And so once again, it would not be surprising if we do end up seeing another bearish September this year, because that is usually the case in the crypto markets. But if we're looking forward to October, we can see that October is usually a month that is pretty much the exact opposite to what we usually see in September. Because, for example, if you're looking at the last 4 years in a row, we've seen 4 bullish Octobers in a row. And if you're looking at the last 10 years of history, we've seen 8 bullish Octobers and only 2 bearish Octobers over the last decade. And so once again, October is pretty much the opposite to September, September being more of a bearish month and October being more of a bullish month. But obviously, past performance does not actually guarantee anything in the future. So just because September is usually bearish and October is usually bullish, it does not guarantee that we are definitely 100% going to see a bearish September and a bullish October. But what it does mean is that it is statistically more likely we're going to see a bearish September and a bullish October as a more likely scenario. And now, if you're taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the weekly time frame, we can see that right now the Bitcoin dominance is actually bouncing after the recent retest of this previous area of resistance. And in case you're new to this channel, this area of resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart is sitting in between around 47.5% to 49%. And as of right now, this previous area of resistance is now currently acting as new support, which is technically bullish price structure for the Bitcoin dominance. And once again, when the Bitcoin dominance is moving to the upside, that means Bitcoin is gaining market share over the rest of the crypto markets. And so essentially, if the Bitcoin dominance is bullish, that means Bitcoin is usually outperforming the rest of the crypto market, or at least holding up better than the rest of the crypto market on average. Whereas if we see a major pullback in the Bitcoin dominance, that is usually an altcoin season where we see the altcoin markets actually gaining on Bitcoin, doing better than Bitcoin on average. And so once again, with the Bitcoin dominance playing out bullish price structure, breaking out above resistance, coming back down to retest that resistance and flip it into new support and now bounce from that level. Once again, this is simply bullish price structure pointing towards Bitcoin holding up better than the rest of the crypto market on average. And we can see that if we're taking a look at the Ethereum chart here on the daily time frame. Obviously, over the last 1 day or so, we have seen a continued break to the downside below this important area of support, sitting in between around 1620 to 1660. And this area of support is based on previous support back here, these previous lows, and also the volume profile indicator on the daily time frame. And so obviously seeing a break below this area of support with now a daily candle close actually confirming a break to the downside, obviously this is a bearish signal. This is bearish price structure on the daily ETH to US dollar charts. And so once again, this is simply that bearish trend on the daily time frame continuing with another leg to the downside, because obviously we have not actually reversed or left that bearish trend on the daily time frame. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now the daily Ethereum MACD is still currently showing relatively low momentum, but it is moving towards a bearish cross, showing potentially more bearish momentum building up. And as for the daily Ethereum RSI, once again, this has not yet broken out from that bearish trend, still currently forming lower highs, once again looking more bearish than bullish like the price. But as I've mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, there is a possible bullish divergence forming here on the daily time frame, because obviously as of right now, we already have confirmed lower lows in the daily candle closes in the price action, while also potentially forming higher lows here in the daily Ethereum RSI. But once again, as I've mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, even though this is potentially forming right now, it is not yet confirmed, because we have not yet confirmed this higher low in place here in the daily Ethereum RSI. And so once again, as I've been saying since all the way back up here, we are still currently looking more bearish than bullish overall on the daily time frame. And now that the price has broken below this important area of support, looking at the next important support on the daily time frame, we have the 50% retracement level sitting at around 1510 to 1520, so just above 1.5k acting as support. And in a more bearish scenario, if that that level does not hold up, then in that case, we have the important golden pocket area of support sitting in between around 1360 to 1.4k. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously over the last one day, we have now confirmed a break to the downside here in the 6-hour Ethereum RSI, and not only breaking below this important line of support, but also breaking into new lower lows here in the 6-hour Ethereum RSI. And so once again, due to this happening, as I've explained in recent videos here on the channel, that is the invalidation signal for this bullish divergence on the 6-hour time frame. And once again, as I've been talking about over the last 1 week or so, this small bullish divergence on the 6-hour chart was resulting in a bit of a pause from that bearish trend on the daily time frame. But now that this bullish divergence is now invalid due to the breakdown in the RSI on the 6-hour chart, once again, this means that we can now resume that bearish trend on the daily time frame with potentially another leg to the downside. But if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.